action. No more claps. I can't do it again.
Okay.
Oh, I start.
You do start the podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Whatever's on the Mind.
Where we tell you what's on ours.
I'm Travis once again.
I'm Jesse, as always.
And-
Welcome to episode 8, and we're the Duff brothers.
Yeah, the what brothers?
Duff brothers? I don't know. You were going to go with something.
I don't know what I was going with. I was going to say ocho, because ocho means 8 in Spanish.
Ocho, I think, also means green or tea in Japanese.
The more you know.
You do.
Yeah, so here we are.
Yeah.
It's a lazy Wednesday. A very
It is.
lazy Wednesday.
It's about 2:30 right now. I woke up about a half hour ago.
See, I've been up
And
since...
you've been up, yeah.
Well, I've been up since like 8:30. Well, actually, probably woke up
Yeah.
closer to 9. But
Yeah.
I haven't really done much with my day, considering what a normal day
Right.
in my life looks like. So I'm kind of shoving it all into later.
But
in
you
the
woke up
evening.
at like a normal time, like everybody else.
Yeah, I mean...
I am a creature of the night.
Well, it's funny because I still stayed up until like 1:30 in the morning.
You did.
And I can't fall asleep past 9. Like, I swear my body just hates
doesn't
me.
let you.
It
I'm
says,
the opposite.
no,
I
Travis.
can't wake up before 9. It doesn't let me.
You know, there's some aspect of that just sounds so nice.
It is until you realize that you wake up at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you're like, the day's almost over.
You know, can you imagine if society was like, yo, guess what? The normal times of operation are 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. Like, you know
like
what I mean?
night shift?
Yeah.
So night
like,
shift.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Like, third shift, midnight crew.
Night shift. Like, I already do that, old man.
But imagine if like everyone's like, okay, that's when you get your grocery shopping done, and that's when you get your
That'd be
taxes
weird.
filed, and I mean,
wouldn't that be like Alaska or places that have like nighttime all the time?
I
or
think
something?
well, it's still like dark, but I think
But they
what
still
I'm saying
do.
is just like that time period.
Uh,
They still operate like the 7 to 5.
So instead of like 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. for shopping, it's reversed.
Yeah, exactly. Just like yeah,
That'd be weird. So then we would sleep during the day all the time.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we are not built to do that at all.
That'd be an interesting kind of like
That would.
adaptation. It's like when
That
you
would.
have like jet lag and stuff.
Yeah.
And like you really want to sleep, and then you're like, I can't sleep because it's light out, and
That's
you're
just
like,
me when I go to the gym. Like, I come back and I'm like, exhausted. I was like, I can't sleep because then I wake up and it's just going to be nighttime. And I'm just going to want to sleep more.
Yeah. The
Okay.
night does things to you, and that's why like during
It
the winter
does.
times and New England and stuff when it starts getting dark at freaking like 4:30 p.m.
Not at like 3 o'clock sometimes.
honestly, and you just get so
I-
drained.
I was so tired this past winter. Like, for the entirety of
Yeah, I felt that.
daylight savings or whatever, I was just tired every day.
I felt like last winter was better for me. Hello, doggos.
Yeah.
Because I did a lot more during the winter, so I played a lot more disc golf. Like I
You did.
had a lot more responsibilities and stuff.
That was the first time I went disc golfing. Was in the
Yeah,
winter,
yeah.
And I was like, why?
Oh yeah, down in
Oof.
southern Maine. I
Yeah.
remember taking you at like 25, 30 degree weather.
Oh my God,
and you're
yeah.
like freezing your butt off, and I'm just like, man, this is warm today. I'm like, I
Yeah,
gotta
it's
take
so
off my
nice.
sweatshirt, guys.
Yeah, I had a hoodie. I had a shirt on, a hoodie on, and a jacket, and like beanie and joggers and just everything.
Everything about
I think I had gloves on, maybe.
you hated that. I remember.
I don't do well in the cold.
You liked disc golf. I
I
remember
did,
that, but
but it was
absolutely
awful.
hated
the
the
weather
cold.
was so bad.
See, I don't mind the cold. Like for me, anything above 25
I'm like a
degrees.
toothpick.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
like-
I got a lot of
Cold goes right through
daddy
me.
bear fat on me. I don't
I'm in
know.
bear mode.
Daddy bear. I don't hibernate though. I wish I did.
No,
Can
I
you
did
imagine-
today.
Wait, what if people just slept for like 4 months straight?
That'd be nice.
Has there ever been someone who's done that?
Yes, actually.
You're kidding.
On BuzzFeed Unsolved, there was this dude who had some kind of liver issue, I want to say. There was some issue in his body that he just slept so much, and he basically just slept for like months through the winter. And
Jeez,
then he was married, so his wife like took care of him, I guess, or something.
that's crazy.
And then eventually he died because like his liver caught up to
Yeah.
him or whatever it was. I need to look that up.
so wait, was
But
he
that's true.
like?
But it's a rare case.
Is there a difference between like sleeping a long time and being in a coma, or is
Is
that
there a
what a
difference?
coma is? You know what I mean? Because I know.
Is there a difference between a coma and hibernation?
Well,
or-
I guess like is a coma just sleeping a bunch and like, Because, like, I feel like when you're sleeping, like, it's a different thing from, like, a coma. Because I feel like with a coma, there's different
Oops.
ways your brain operate or something like that.
Between man and men. The difference between sleep and coma. I'm looking up right now.
The difference between
Coma is a prolonged state of unconsciousness. Person's unresponsive, completely unresponsive.
Oh.
Unlike in a deep sleep, the person cannot be awakened by any stimulation. So coma is just you can't react to anything.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Sleep is like, even if you're in a deep sleep, you can still like...
You react to
you
it.
can
Your
be
body
provoked in some way.
Your body picks that up. The sensory is still there.
Right.
Man, I would hate to be in a coma.
It would suck a lot.
Like, you hear those stories about, like, people who are in comas for years and then they, like, wake up and, like, just how confused they are.
Right.
Like, I mean, and then on the flip side, you have some people who unfortunately never come out of a coma, you know, and then you just wonder.
I actually took a, oh God, what was it? It was like, it was a biological ethics philosophy class last semester that we actually talked about this.
Give it to me, Jesse.
Well, it was kind of like, how do you define someone being alive? Is it when their body stops like operating but their mind's still active, or is it when their brain, quote unquote, brain dead, but their body still reacts to things?
Right.
It's like, how do you define like consciousness at that point?
Yeah, that's a trick. I feel like the tricky part about that is the only way you could ever know is if you were in that situation.
Right.
And once you're in that situation, you don't
out.
have the agency to communicate and to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, the thought of, like, what do babies think? You know what I mean? It's so interesting. Like, you think like baby, but you can't really think like a baby, you know? Because, like, a baby thinks like a baby, and they can't communicate their thoughts. And then once they grow up, they don't really remember their thoughts from when they were 2 months old. And like, even if there is consciousness there, like, is a baby conscious of their environment? And I mean, obviously they're conscious of their environment.
I think they operate on instincts.
Yeah.
Which is not much when they're a baby, but it's still like...
Right, it's still consciousness. It's just not that higher tier thinking.
I always thought it was weird that all the other most other animals, like when they're born, they just like can operate pretty quickly. But like humans take like a decade at least to be like, I don't know, old enough to like survive on their own. Which 10 years old is like, that's generous.
Yeah, honestly, imagine throwing some 10-year-old out in like the woods of Katahdin.
Like, I just mean it's not like impossible at that point for them to survive, but Mount Katahdin.
Well, what was that story? Lost on the Mountain of Maine with Don Fedler.
I love that book.
He recently died a few years ago.
He did. Was it a few years ago now?
I think it was a few years ago now.
I thought it was last year or something.
But yeah, so
he
like,
did pass away.
How old was he? Wasn't he like 12 or 13 during that time?
I think he was 12.
He was younger.
But he was out there for like a year or something.
He was out there for a long time. Now I gotta look this up because I have to double check.
This is the episode where we're both looking stuff up. I'm trying to find out that man who hibernated for like months. It was like, well, it was weird because it was like, it wasn't in like a modern time. It was like, well, I say not modern time. I don't know, it was the time. It was this guy hibernated around the time that like the mafia was operating. So it was like, I can't find his name. There is a man who hibernated for 3 weeks in 2006. A Japanese man survived for 24 days in cold weather without food and water.
Mokastandi, I think. I probably butchered that pronunciation.
Mokastandi. Yeah. He hibernated for like 3 weeks. But no, there was a dude, and it's on BuzzFeed Unsolved. They did like a feature of it where this dude like literally hibernated for like 3 or 4 months or something because he had... I don't know if it was liver. He had like an increased production of melatonin or something.
Oh,
I think that allowed him to sleep like that. And I want to look it up later and maybe fix it in post because I don't want to just be like talking. This guy hibernated and then melatonin in his liver, whatever, and that's like not true at all.
Maybe we can throw some link in like our tweet or something like that.
It just reminds me of when I was talking about BDG and I was like, he works for like BuzzFeed and he doesn't. he works for Polygon.
Going back to Lost on the Mountain of Maine, I just looked it up. So apparently he was 12. So we had that right. He was like 12 years old. Don Fedler. Fendler. It's like Fendler.
Fendler.
I guess he got lost on the mountain in 1939. Think about that.
Was that old? I thought it was like in the 60s.
I know.
Something.
It seems like it's more recent than that, but
1930. I guess the book came out in the 60s or something.
right, because he would have been older
right,
and old enough to write it.
It was like a graphic novel, wasn't it? It wasn't really like a book.
They had both.
Oh, they did?
I think they had a book, and I think
they
they had a graphic novel.
I think we read the graphic novel in school.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
it was easier for us kids.
But apparently, the part we were inaccurate on was the amount of time. I guess he only spent 9 days. I say only, but of course, nine days.
Okay.
But for a 12-year-old surviving in the wilderness.
Forever.
Well, and the thing, too, about that is, like, we say people couldn't do that because... and the argument behind that is because we're socialized not to. Like, you know what I mean?
We're domesticated?
Yeah, exactly.
Like we're not really.
So, like, if you were born out in the wilderness and were, with your parents in this like, very natural environment, then you're going to adapt and learn really quickly. And by the time you're 5, you'll probably be able to identify what berries are okay to eat and what's not.
Right.
Whereas someone like me, who's 22 years old, you throw me out of the woods for a week, I'm dead. I'm gone.
I don't think you would die.
Okay, maybe not a week, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
well, I just don't think you would die after a week unless an animal got you.
Yeah,
but
depends.
I could survive out in the wild for a bit.
Really?
But
I feel like I could do like a month out in the wild, and then I would just like give up. Because I'd be like, I don't have...
I think my biggest problem... What were you going to say?
I was just going to say because I wouldn't have human interaction or anything.
Yeah. I was going to say my biggest problem would just be getting food and water.
Yeah.
Like, I could do shelter pretty easily and stuff, I feel like.
Yeah, the shelter part would be really easy, and it's finding what food is okay to eat and what's finding clean water too.
Right.
Because in order to you have to like boil water to drink it. Because
all water.
Well,
or is it just like
should.
You should.
Because I mean the whole myth of like the moss takes out all the bad stuff. No, if you have a deer like defecating in the upstream river.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's why you go upstream. So
yeah, but how far upstream can you go?
As far as you can, really.
And by the point you get that far upstream, you usually find some sort of civilization or something. You know what I mean?
Upstream? No, it's downstream.
Down.
If you find, downstream goes to like a river or something. Or,
yeah, I guess you're right.
Or like it goes to more civilization.
Yeah,
upstream goes more up to the mountain.
You're right. You're right.
That's why, if you find like a stream or a river, follow it like down to find civilization.
Either way, boil your poopy deer water.
Yeah.
Because it's safe. I used to watch a lot of like...
Bear Grylls.
Not exactly that, but it was like dual survival and like stuff like that. Like those kinds of outdoor survival shows where it's like, hey, we're going to go out in the woods for like a month and do all this stuff because we're all cool and we have a camera crew and like...
And the camera crew's eating pizza and drinking like soda and stuff.
Just sitting there starving, eating some dead freaking rat or something. I would hate that lifestyle.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
Do you remember when we read like the Hatchet book?
Yeah, Gary Paulson.
Is that what was it called? The Hatchet?
It was Hatchet. Yeah.
It was just called Hatchet. Wow, that's so good.
That was a really good book.
It was.
I remember the whole premise was like this guy was flying up to Canada to visit his father.
Right.
And the private airplane he had, the pilot had a heart attack, I think.
Yeah, he did.
And they landed
in Canada.
Canada or somewhere.
It was
like
pretty
that.
up north.
But they crash landed, and then this kid survives. I think that book was the one where like the kid survives like a year or two.
It was
a long time.
It was a while. It might have been like a month or something.
It was a long time, but that's a fiction book. That's not a real account.
Right.
Not as impressive.
I remember that book very vividly.
Yeah, I do
for some of it because I remember that the plane crashed in the lake.
Yeah, exactly.
And
he had to like swim out.
He swam out, but the plane was still stuck under. Yeah. And he had to like, he had to go. It's so like graphic because he had to go back into the plane. And he saw the dead pilot and the fish were eating his face and stuff. And I was like, what the heck?
You're reading this in like 5th grade.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, what?
But then he got the big supply thing out of the plane and he got like the comms to like put the emergency like SOS on and then he got found. And then like later he like goes back to his mom or something. He like a year later or something. And he's like, all right, I'm going to go back in the wilderness to just live there now. Because that's how it works. He just likes it. Like he just... I don't know if he
has an extremely traumatic experience, wants to do that all the time.
And he was like, well, this is the only way to live now.
Yeah.
So
it's a weird
I don't know if there was a sequel made.
There was.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember.
I think that was the sequel.
Like him telling his mom, like, hey, I'm going to...
Well, that was in the first book. It was in Hatchet. He was
was it?
After he like graduated high school or something maybe, he just went to go like live in the wilderness on his own with like a little bit of supplies.
Oh yeah. So. Oh wow, there were a lot of books.
Really? Oh yeah.
Because I think the kid's name was Brian, right?
I have no idea. I don't remember.
But anyways, so there's like Brian's Winter, Brian's Return, Brian's Hunt.
I guess his name's Brian.
Hatchet, yeah.
Hatchet, yeah.
That's interesting. Gary Paulson is a lot.
Gary Paulson.
Yeah, Gary Paulson.
I was about to ask who the author was.
That's like the one name from elementary school I remember.
Gary Paulson.
Gary
I just remember
Paulson.
J.K. Rowling because I read all the Harry Potters.
I mean, who didn't read all the Harry Potters? I read every Harry Potter and watched all the movies.
I did too. I also read all the Percy Jacksons at the time.
I didn't, but I heard those were all kind of pretty good.
The books were really good. If you like mythology, you'll like them a lot.
I heard the movies weren't that great though.
Not even a little. It was depressing.
Big sad.
Because they were like, I just didn't live up to like the books at all. Like Harry Potter is like, oh, they switched some stuff around and whatever, and it's like, but it's still pretty good. And then Percy Jackson was just like, no, this isn't at all what the books were like. Or like it was so much cut out of it that it wasn't even recognizable.
Like the actors are holding the book up to like the producers and directors, and it's like, read this, and they're just like take the book and like, man, like, throw it off, and
that's not what kids want. They don't want accurate representation.
They want action. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never saw any of the movies or read the books or anything.
There was, I think, and then this is just the I think episode. Like maybe it happened, but they're making a Percy Jackson series on Disney Plus.
Oh, interesting.
I think. Don't quote me on that, because now you have to look it up.
So Disney's like
Disney Plus.
Are they buying like the rights to it, or?
I guess so. Something. Or maybe they're like buying the license to use it or something.
Interesting.
Percy Jackson Disney Plus.
I mean, it looks like it. May of this is May of 2020, so I don't know if it's actually.
That's relatively recent for like TV news.
Right. I wonder when it's coming though. I don't know if they.
Oh, probably not till like next year or something.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it looks like Disney Plus is getting a live action Percy Jackson series, according to The Verge, which wasn't The Verge the name? The Verge Pipe. That was the name of the band. Pipe? Yeah, there's a song Freshman. Yes, we were only freshmen.
Well, here's the June 15th update.
Oh, really?
Last month it was announced. Blah blah blah. Now I have to go in depth. Yeah, the book's author Rick Riordan, I think. He's currently writing the series and announced the production on his Twitter. So it is happening, but they're in like the super early stages.
Ah, I see.
He's still working as of June 15th. He's still working on the pilot script outline.
Oh,
so it's not gonna happen until next year.
It's kind of like the new Elder Scrolls when it was announced like last year. When they're like...
Was it announced last year?
I think it was announced last year.
It's been so long.
But they were just like, hey, we're still 5 years out.
Yeah,
That hurt.
And then Obsidian was like, we're just going to make our own Elder Scrolls game.
Literally.
Have you seen that? Awoken, I think it's called.
I haven't seen that.
They released a trailer at like E3, not E3, the... whatever the Xbox Expo thing is. Not the E3, but like, you know how Sony does their own thing and then Microsoft or Xbox does their own thing?
So it's called Awoken?
Awoken, yeah.
Okay.
And it's very Elder Scrollsy. Like you have magic and a sword and it's medieval. And it's made by Obsidian.
Is it out right now?
No. It's coming out I think later this year, I think, or like early 2021.
Let me take a peek. See. Oh, Avowed.
Avowed. Sorry, not Awoken.
You threw me on a Google loop.
It started with an A.
That's fair.
Avowed.
You should have just said the A game by Obsidian.
Yeah.
And I would have typed that in the Google. And
they're the ones who made Grounded as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Obsidian's on a roll this year.
Avowed will be another massive first-person and open-world RPG.
Yep.
Set in Aurora, or Eora, or something. Eora. Eora? Right here. Eora.
Yeah, maybe Eora.
Aurora. The same world of Pillars of Eternity, which I don't know what that is.
Oh, shit.
I like how you're like, oh, dang!
No, Pillars of Eternity is a fantastic series.
But yeah, it's coming to Xbox One Series X.
That actually makes me more hyped for it. It's in the Pillars of Eternity universe?
I guess so, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I have Pillars of Eternity 2 on my PC.
Oh, what is it? What is the game?
It's like it's a CRPG, like a classic RPG where it's like you manage a party and it's kind of point and click.
Oh yeah.
And it's like It's like real time. Well, it's real time combat, or you can choose the turn based mode. But it's really cool. It's like very D&D
Yeah,
like
yeah.
esque. It's just it's a cool game. It's a cool series.
Well, there you go, Jesse. It's in that
that makes
world.
me so actually. 'Cause, I was already planning on getting that because it's Obsidian, and they make really good games. But now it's like in the same universe. I was like, that's gonna be super interesting.
How? I mean, I've seen some gameplay of Grounded. Excuse me.
It is in early access. Just let you just because it is in game preview early access, so it might be a little janky.
I watched a little bit online, and it just seemed like there wasn't much to it right now, and I just.
Well, it depends on were you watching it when they first started playing the game.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
Survival games are very shallow until you play it longer.
Okay.
Because me and the bros, TM, were playing it for an hour or two last night, and it got pretty in depth quickly. We did a couple of the objectives, but then we discovered a ton of building stuff and tools.
Okay.
So you discover a bunch of blueprints by by
finding
harvesting
and
killing the insects or analyzing and stuff.
Yeah.
So we had a team of 4, so we're discovering stuff super fast.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Grounded is a new game that's kind of like a survival.
It's a survival game.
Yeah. That it's basically the premise of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, except you're surviving.
I love Splattercat Splattercat Gaming made a video on it, and it's like Honey, I Shrunk the survival game genre. It was just very.
But
nice
yeah,
title.
basically
Very
you're in
funny
the
title.
yard and you're trying to save yourself and live and
Yeah.
discover how you got shrunk and stuff like
Yeah,
that. From what I
yeah.
understand of the game.
Yeah, you got shrunk by these 3 lasers in your backyard, and it's really cool. I really like that you everything's bigger than you, and it's very
I think that's cool. Just a blade of grass, not glass.
It's like a tree, right? It's
exactly.
so big.
It's huge.
And
which is kind of cool.
It's really cool.
It looks kind of hard. I'm not gonna
It is kind of hard.
Fighting, the
it was kind of
and
hard.
Stuff,
you can turn down the difficulty.
Oh,
there's
okay.
difficulty stuff. So
I was gonna say because
when we were playing, we played on medium, and that was pretty good. It was a good level of challenge and just kind of breezing through it.
So it wasn't the extreme death difficulty.
No, but everybody I think is gonna make the mistake when they first playing. They're like, oh, there's an ant. I'm gonna go beat it up. And then the soldier ant comes out, and then you all die.
Demolishes
and then you all get camped at spawn, and then you just have to literally, I hit a soldier ant thinking or I hit an ant thinking oh whatever, it's just gonna run away, and then it got its gang and soldier ant, and they just killed us a couple times, and we're just oh my god.
You're just please stop murdering me.
And then our friend Wyatt picked a fight with a ladybug, and you
God.
think that sounds pretty easy. No. Ladybugs are like tanks, okay? It knocked us out all once. And
see, that's funny.
And then larva came, dude. The freaking larva came, destroyed our camp, and
oh,
it's just you think that game's easy? It's not.
It's not. I was gonna say it looks hard.
But it's really fun though. I would say give it a chance.
That reminds me of a story talking about kind of naive first time game players.
Players.
The very first time.
Dark Souls players.
Yeah, I mean, well, just in general, the first time you dive into a game and don't understand the mechanics and everything. The very first time I ever played Skyrim, I wandered into Riverwood, and it's the very first town you go into after you escape the castle area.
Yeah.
So you go there to meet up with your little pal, your pal, your buddy.
You're an Imperial pal.
And you go there, and the very first thing you see when you walk in is a little chicken.
Oh, so you made the Zelda mistake.
Well, I was like, hey, look, it's a chicken, and I want to kill it. And then I kill it, and then immediately, I had 30 villagers just, on my butt.
Oh, my God.
And I was just like, it's a $10 fine or something like that, but everyone's trying to kill me because of it. And you don't understand at the time. You just put away your weapon, and it'll be like, stop in the name of the Jarl, or whatever.
Right.
Nope. Instead, I just, I ran away, and every time I came back to the town, they would try to kill me.
Oh, my God.
And then eventually I died, and then I'm like, okay, well, let's not do that again. So, that's fun.
The same thing in The Witcher. If you kill enough cows, you get the big dude after
cow
you.
demon thing.
Yeah, I don't.
It's almost like a Diablo reference. Is
it? I don't know.
I think
what is
so.
It called? I can't remember what it's called.
It's
I can think of what it looks like, but I can't.
It's
think
this
of
big scary monster
yeah.
cow that literally just comes after you. Because I think I watched something on that, and I think the developers put that into the game because there was an exploit with killing cows to help you gain experience or money. I think it was money. or something like that. So once you kill a certain amount of cows,
Oh, it's called a chort, I think.
the what?
A chort.
A chore. Okay. As soon as you kill enough cows, that big old thing comes at you.
Short. Well, I should probably do Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Witcher 3 short.
Yeah, that's
the
it.
big cow demon.
Yeah.
Well, it's more like a goat.
Yeah, honestly.
It's just like a big goat demon.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It looks like Oh, I remember what the name. It looks like a fiend. A fiend is Witcher 3. Now I gotta look that up. It's pretty similar.
Oh yeah.
Except that's more like a moose.
Right.
Deer one.
The antlers are different.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's the same.
I gotta play The Witcher 3, man.
It's a very good game.
I haven't played
It's
it.
a little dated now.
Yeah.
Because I think it came out in 2015, 2016.
Isn't that funny that's dated?
Yeah, it is. Because it's like, it was like a game of the year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Or either that was, I don't remember. I remember that a lot of people were upset because like Fallout 4 got game of the year that time around or something. Yeah, there's a lawnmower going on.
Yeah.
It won't catch it. I don't think it'll catch that much.
If it does, I apologize.
Nah. It's fine.
Silence to check the
It's
lawnmower
sincerity.
sounds.
It's
Close your eyes. Imagine the smell
Try
of
it,
fresh
yeah.
cut
I
grass.
was literally about to say that. I was like, try to smell the grass.
Mmm.
The grass is greener where you take care of it. I don't know.
The sun's beating down on your face. It's warm, but not too warm.
It's
You
warm,
feel-
but wait, not that warm. Dial it back a bit.
Dial it back.
Yeah.
Cool
Who
down.
is-
Ice water.
is that my neighbor?
lemonade. I don't know. I think it's your neighbor.
Yeah.
You want me to just open up the window and be like,
Yeah,
"We're trying to do a podcast."
I don't think I'd be able to hear you.
Probably not.
They got a lawnmower going, and they're also pretty old.
Old people.
Yeah, we live.
Am I right?
There's so many old people in our town. It's
I
not
mean-
a bad thing, depending on your look at it, but
It just depends.
That's annoying.
Yeah, a lot of grandparents.
There are. If you go shopping, you'll always see old people.
Oh, yeah.
They're always shopping.
They're always around.
Exactly.
Wouldn't it be weird to live like I'm so used to that?
Right.
Where, you know,
Because our population in Maine is like
elderly.
it's pretty much all elderly, unless you go to like Portland
Yeah.
or Augusta or some big place.
So I just can't imagine like going to a place where like 99% of people are young and
They're
1%
like our
are old.
age or
yeah.
like in their 30s or something.
And
Yeah,
you're just
that's weird.
like,
You
I
go
would
to, like-
hate that.
You would?
I really would.
I don't know how I'd feel about it.
I don't like people my age, really.
No.
There's few gems here and there.
We're pretty dumb.
Honestly, I just think
Yeah.
like my college has sent out a statement to our
Mhm.
students, basically saying like, okay, we know you want to party in the middle of a pandemic, but just to remind you, it's not safe, and we will close down the college if you do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you even process that? Like he said, people have been asking me questions about partying on camp, and I'm just like, why?
Or like having like get-togethers.
Why
and
is
stuff
that at the forefront of your mind? Like,
for our
it's so stupid. It's just like, I mean,
they're rich kids and they don't care about school. They
they're
just
literally
wanna
like,
party.
if I
They're
get
just there
sick,
to
my
party.
exclusive health insurance will take care of
Yeah,
it.
my extremely privatized health insurance that can cover like the 100,000 or whatever.
Stupid, rich, privileged
Yeah.
snobs. And
Mhm.
anyways,
The elite.
man,
He chose to go to that college.
I mean,
You
I
could
did.
have gone to little old
University
Podunk, Maine
college.
University. Yeah.
I mean,
Is
I could have.
Podunk a bad thing to say?
I don't know. I don't know
It
the
kinda
terminology.
I feel like Podunk, it just kind of means like rural backwards.
I'm sure it has negative connotations.
It
though,
does.
and
It's kind of
reinforces
supposed to be like
stereotypes.
redneck, kind of like rural Podunk.
I'm not sure.
I don't think it's like super bad to use, but it's what does it say?
A hypothetical small
Small town.
town regarded as typically dull or insignificant.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Podunk, Maine. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. I don't know. I say Podunk a lot describing where we live, and I feel like I do it so much that it's like it's a bad thing, but it's not really.
There's a town
It's pretty
called
accurate.
Podunk, and I wonder
Yeah.
if that's where it originates
Podunk,
from.
you know,
Up
that's in New York.
Yeah. There's a
I don't
hamlet
know.
located across the
A hamlet.
Tuganuck Creek.
Who's it?
Tuganuck. Taughk.
I don't know if that's a hard G.
ANNOCK. Anyways.
Maybe Toffanok.
And the town of Ulysses.
Toffanok.
So it's a little part. It's not actually a town. It's just a part of a town.
Okay.
But
It's part of that lawnmower. That's what that is.
there-
No, I want to be silent for like a second. Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Enjoy
It'll
it.
just be like a hum. That's annoying.
Maybe it's just me humming. You'll never know.
Who does their lawn at like 3 in the afternoon?
I don't.
Aren't you supposed to do that in the morning to annoy your neighbors?
Either early in the norming. Or late in the night. You see what I did there?
Yeah,
I ran with it. No, either early in the morning or late at night when it's
cooler.
cooler.
Also a Wednesday.
Yeah,
you're supposed to do that on Sunday,
like
my dude.
Sunday morning.
Sunday after church, go mow your lawn.
Or right before church, like the 6 a.m.ers who are like, let's go.
That's even worse.
I
get mad when people mow their lawn at like 9 a.m.
Really?
And I'm like, you dang old man, I'm trying to sleep.
See, now I feel bad because I feel like I would 100% be one of those people that mows their lawn.
I would too if I mowed the lawn. I would do it like 10, 11-ish.
I'd be like...
You don't want to wait a whole day to do it.
It depends. Do you hate your neighbors or not? Because
they probably hate us because of all our dogs.
So
like, that dang house doesn't shut up.
They knew. They calculated when we do our podcast.
They saw somebody else show up and they're like, all right, it's time.
It's time to whip it out.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting for this moment all week.
Life. It's good to get it out.
I just gotta get it out. Sometimes you just gotta let it loose.
What do you want to call this episode? You have to make an executive decision. Every time I've been the titler for like.
Jesse has been the creative mind behind everything, and I feel like
director.
I'm just contributing my quirkiness to put something.
Your vast knowledge of sociology and history and Marxism.
Literally at this point, with like everything Jesse has done, if he really wanted to, he could just do everything on his own and be like, Travis, I'm done with you. I own it. He puts in 99% of the work, and he needs credit. So give him a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe if you love Jesse more than me.
I want to do a little 20 sub special. We just need 3 more subs. So
20 sub special.
If you could share this, that'd be super appreciated.
Do it.
I don't even care if we get like comments and likes. Like I just want it to be shared more, so we get more views and more subs.
Share the love.
That'd be nice.
My heart belongs to the world.
Eat your heart out.
I don't know if we were going for the same thing there, but it doesn't seem it.
What does eat your heart out mean?
I don't know. Like, there's a lot of sayings.
Does it mean like indulge so much that like you're happy? I don't know.
That just sounds like obesity.
Well, like, eat your heart out sounds like you're indulging to like your heart's content. You know what I mean?
Eat your heart out, according to the always reliable Urban Dictionary. Is a declaration, often exaggerated, joking, and boastful, of being better than another person, the aforementioned often being a celebrity or historical figure.
That's not at all what I thought.
I don't... Mozart, eat your heart out, said the organ player after a successful concert.
Why'd you go on Urban Dictionary?
I don't know.
It's got to be a better source than that.
Oh, here's another one. Eat your heart out directly translates to screw... I won't say it. Screw you words. You hurt me more than anyone could.
What is the word? What is the word?
It's the B word. I don't want to say it.
You said the F word.
But I don't want to say the B word.
Right.
I have the right to choose what words I want to use.
Okay. On the next episode, you're just going to swear every other word.
It depends what mood I'm in.
Yeah. I don't know. I want the podcast to be, like, friendly, but also, like, I do swear a lot when I'm talking.
And it's whatever's on the mind. It's not whatever's on the mind for 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
Get with the program. Oh, hey.
That's so quiet. After
it's
you're like, get with the program. He's like, all right, I'm done. I'm done.
He's like, stop yelling at me.
Stop mowing now. And now it's really quiet.
Comedic timing.
It is.
That's the correct term, right?
Comedic timing?
Is that?
Yeah.
Is that like?
Yeah.
I don't.
Comedic. Check, please. That's comedic timing. I don't remember what show that's from. Check, please. Is that Frasier or something?
I don't remember, actually.
I don't know. Look it up. Look up everything.
It's not Curb Your Enthusiasm, is it?
No. That's a show?
Yeah.
Oh.
You've never heard of Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No.
That's a good show.
I've heard of Frasier. I've never seen Frasier.
Check, please, Google.
Mm-hmm. Check, please, show.
Well, yeah, I should probably... It's so hard with Google, because I always search the most basic thing.
Check, please.
Oh, I guess Check Please was a multi-Emmy award-winning restaurant review program.
No, it was said like in a show.
Yeah, that's...
I'm still going to just go with Frasier. I don't care. Just blame it on Frasier.
Check Please quote show. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, wait, TV shows?
What's that?
No, okay.
I forget what it was, but there was this like YouTube video or like some video on Facebook or something by some I don't remember if it was like BuzzFeed or I think it was BuzzFeed, but they did like Google in person or something like that. So basically the whole premise was like this guy sitting in front of a desk with like a bunch of papers and stuff. And like a bunch of people would come to the desk and just like say what they would write into like the Google search bar. So like one girl was just like hedgehog cute. And then he's just like, I'm going to need a little bit more than that. But she's like, hedgehog cute, exclamation point. And just like all these funny little things that like, if you were to actually say the things you type out loud, like, I don't know. It's a funny bit. I think it's BuzzFeed. Or College Humor. Sorry, it's College Humor, not BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was BuzzFeed. See, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't come up with like...
anything.
The original... It comes up with like the show called Check Please. Which maybe that's where it originated from. But
we're just going with Frasier, man. You got it. I'm going with you.
I thought it came from Frasier.
Hey.
But, I mean, at this point, so many shows have used it as a joke, so...
Haircut in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Got a reminder.
What kind of phone do you have?
I got
you have a Samsung, don't you?
Yeah.
I got an Apple.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, Apple. iPhone.
I had Apple for the longest time. Why is he starting that back up?
I don't know.
It's like out of spite. He's like, you were...
At this point.
You were
He probably
so
had to go
close.
to the other side of his lawn. I don't know.
Why wouldn't you mow to the other side of your lawn?
Because you don't want to. I don't want to put the blades on the asphalt.
Oh, like if there's like a
Maybe.
driveway in the middle. I didn't think
There's a
about
driveway in the middle, between his lawn.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, I look like a dummy.
It's okay. You don't live here.
Or do I?
I still haven't come to check out your apartment.
You need to check out my apartment.
And I was gonna use last editing session to be as an excuse, but also the render on that, because I know episode whatever took like an hour and something to render, and I was like, what the heck? And then I rendered episode 7, and it took like 20 minutes.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, it took 20 minutes to render.
Was that with a change of your internet, or? Because you just recently changed your internet.
Well, the render doesn't matter how much with my internet. The render is the
That's
software
fair.
program.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And
Well, maybe your
So I
software
don't
likes
know.
this internet better.
I guess so.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe it has something to do with the internet, but
I don't know.
I don't think so. 'Cause I think it's just the software. But like I know episode 4 took a really long time to render because I did a lot of editing.
Yeah.
Quote unquote a lot of editing.
Yeah.
But I spent like hours editing that one. It was really fun. It was fun to edit. 'Cause
That was the one with all the
guy-
aliens, right?
Yeah.
Just aliens.
Um,
Left and right, aliens.
But it is, I think, the more editing I do, the longer it takes to render because that's more to render.
More to process. Yeah.
So if I just kind of like copy paste the standard stuff on the video, it takes like 20 minutes. Because it's also just a long episode, like an hour long usually.
Yeah.
So that's a long time to render something.
I feel like that's louder now.
It is
my
louder.
gosh. What are you doing?
Yeah, our windows are closed by the way.
That's
and by
crazy.
hour I mean mine, because this is my room.
It's ours. And we're recording.
Our boyfriend. Ours is the Bugs Bunny name right there. Still have that saved. What do we even talk about this episode? I don't know. It's been a lot of stuff.
This has been.
Chit-chat.
This
We
is the
looked at
random episode. We needed
They're
this
all
one.
random episodes.
Well, yes, but this is the one that was like no structure whatsoever. Did not even talk about a topic.
You had 2 things you said you wanted to throw at me, and then I don't know if you ever did.
I didn't, and I'll save them
didn't?
for later on.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like we can talk about it in
No.
the next 10, 15 minutes.
Not. Give us like a little teaser.
A tease. Ooh.
Teaser into like next episode,
Um.
next week. Of the topics you want to do, and then we're going to completely forget about them and not talk about them at all.
I'll just say the topic.
Okay.
And then.
You had
so-
2, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I had 2, but I'll just do 1 for now. Keep them on their toes. I guess the topic we'll discuss next week, and I'll plug it in at some point, and we'll probably forget, but then we'll do it in the next episode after that, regardless, because I'll write it down somewhere, and we'll actually do it.
Take a breath.
What does it mean to be a good person?
I think we've already talked about that.
In general,
We have definitely talked about that a little bit in earlier episodes.
we probably did, but
Was
in a certain context, and that context will be disclosed
Okay.
later on.
Okay. Because it's like, what does it mean to be a good like Samaritan? We definitely have talked about that.
You'll see. It's a teaser.
Okay.
It's not an
Okay,
explanation.
alright, okay.
I don't have to explain myself to you, Mom.
Is Bear Grylls grill steaks?
He probably does.
Yeah.
Does he grill bear steaks?
I don't know. That's a lot of meat. A lot of
Bears
meat.
are big.
They are big. They're bigger than me. I was gonna say they're bigger than
Astute observation, Chelsea.
I was gonna say they're bigger than a moose, but I don't think they're bigger.
They're probably the same size.
They might weigh the same.
Moose are huge.
They are.
Like, you think of a moose versus a bear, and you're like, nah, the bear's got them all day.
No, that moose is winning any day of the week.
Moose is like, those things are tough.
Like, especially because the bear's going to stand up, right? And you're going to stance up. Moose is just going to charge it.
It's just going to ram you with its head. Just
if it can break a metal car, like, it can break a bear.
It can break a bear.
It can break a bear.
That sounds like one of those cheap, like, games that are installed on your laptop when you first get it. It's
break
like,
a bear.
Break a bear.
Break a bear. That's a good game idea, actually.
Break a bear.
Yeah.
It's just a moose charging at a bear. That's all.
Oh, well, I was going to say, it could be more like just find different ways to break the bear.
Oh, okay.
More than just a moose breaking a bear.
But that's one of the ways.
But, like,
Jesse, you're
I'm
onto
getting
something
big Happy Wheels
revolutionary.
vibes from that.
Honestly,
Happy
yeah.
Wheels, like, you just...
Dude, that's such a nostalgic childhood
Happy
game.
Wheels,
Like,
very middle school game.
like sitting in class and you didn't have anything to do, so you just
played Happy Wheels.
played Happy Wheels.
I can't. They just let us play Happy Wheels. That was weird. Or it was during like some kind of downtime or whatever.
Had a lot of downtime in
I
middle school.
think it was called Target Time or something in middle school.
Oh, I remember that.
Target Time.
Like, you had times
Or
to,
it was
like...
just homeroom.
It was
whatever.
basically make up all the standards that you missed out on.
And if you were just fine, you could just whatever for
You
30
just chill.
minutes. It was like 30 minutes.
I remember. Do you remember when mass customized learning was a thing? So it was the whole...
What was it?
It's called mass customized learning.
Customized learning.
But essentially it's the premise that, like, you work at your own pace and you do your own thing while your other students work at their own pace and stuff.
Did we do that?
Yes.
We did.
In
Did we do that in
elementary
high school?
There's
Elementary school.
Or sorry, middle school. It was in middle school.
Middle school.
There's probably a reason you don't remember that because it's such a failure of a program. But I remember that class, like for science class, for example, I'd get done all my work in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And it'd take the rest of the students like a week or two.
Okay.
And literally, I would go down to the band room every day and just chill with my
Nice. Yeah.
teacher,
I
Mr.
remember
Feldman.
Mr. Feldman. The only thing I'll remember from that man is he said, remember, like, we had like an assembly, and I don't know if I was walking with you or Wyatt, but he was just like, he just looked at me, he was like, Jesse, your eyes have no soul. And I was just like, I know, at the time, but I talked about that with like my roommates, and they were like, he said what?
That's such a messed up thing for a teacher to say.
Like, you have no soul in your eyes. And I know he was like joking because that's Mr. Feldman.
But you're a middle schooler.
But I was a middle schooler, and I was just like, at the time, I was like, I know. And looking back at it, I was like, why did this man say that?
That's so messed
I was
up.
like, did he smoke a little bit before the assembly? And just like...
No doubt. Like,
Well, he was like a rock band teacher, right? He was like in a band.
Well, it's funny.
And he had like a
because
ton
he
of tattoos.
But he's also like, I was friends with him on Facebook afterwards.
Yeah.
And he was like ultra right wing, like,
Was he?
conspiracy
Oh.
theory. Like, he was very like conservative and very like.
Interesting.
I mean, nothing against that, but it's just like it didn't fit his persona, I guess, of what I pictured him as.
He was very laid back in school and stuff.
Super
yeah.
religious and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
interesting. 'Cause he has a lot of tattoos too.
I know, but I mean, like, that's the thing
Maybe
about
it's
people.
all just a friend.
That's the thing about people. All front.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's the thing about people is like they all are different and they all do different things, and you can't categorize a bunch of people into
Right.
one group regardless.
Yeah, I have
so.
tattoos. I'm not
You do have
religious.
tattoos.
I do.
Like,
I want to cover this one up. 'Cause
prepare
I don't
for
really
the
like
future.
that one as much anymore.
I
I
don't.
got that when I
Yeah.
was 18.
What is this symbolize? Like it looks like a dartboard.
A dartboard.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It was described to me as a power button coming alive.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Interesting.
it was the Fallout Vault-Tec tattoo symbol.
Oh,
Vault-Tec,
okay. Okay.
Which hence the prepare for the future.
I didn't get the reference.
But-
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
you don't play Fallout, right?
You're right.
Yeah. Also, I mean, can you read that? Is that legible?
No, I can,
You can read
prepare
that?
for the future. Yeah.
Okay. This is the Vault-Tec, but I wanted to I didn't just want to do like a stamp of the logo.
Yeah.
I wanted it to have like personal touch to it.
Yeah.
Hence, this is it's like crumbling because it's old, right?
Yeah.
It's like broken up, and then this is like the lightning bolt. I don't know. It looks like a lightning bolt, but it's supposed to be like irradiated because
Yeah.
it's Fallout, and Fallout's like nuclear apocalypse.
Right.
So
right.
my thought was like, well, I want it to be like kind of like old and like broken and irradiated,
Right.
and this is what happened.
I mean, it doesn't look bad.
Nah, but it's like
We're gonna have to. I'm gonna
it
take a
doesn't make
picture. We're
sense.
gonna have to insert it into the podcast
Yeah.
so you all can see.
It's not a good tattoo though. Like,
Comment if you think it's a
not.
good or bad tattoo. Tattoo. Wow, I can't talk, man. If it's a good tattoo. Write in the comments.
I'm gonna say it's not because I got it when I was 18,
Really?
and I didn't really have anybody like
Okay.
peer review it.
Here's
you
where
know?
the division begins. If you like the tattoo, write Team Travis. If you don't like the tattoo, write Team Jesse.
Okay.
It's kind of like the whole Team
There you go.
Edward, Team Jacob thing.
Yeah, like the Twilight,
Twilight thing, like-
They actually came out with a new book, I think.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. I'm not. I know it's 45 minutes. And
I watched a kiddo over the weekend, and all they wanted to do was watch Twilight, and I wanted to die the entire weekend because I don't like.
Twilight's not that bad.
I don't like it.
Midnight Sun
Midnight
is a
Sun.
2020 companion novel to the 2005 book Twilight by Stephanie Meyer,
Interesting.
and it came out it came out yesterday.
Oh, well, there it is.
It came out August 4th, 2020, which was yesterday.
Well, Stephanie, one, you owe us money
I
for
think-
mentioning your book, but two, you're welcome for free endorsements.
97% of Google users like this book.
But it just came out yesterday. What do you mean?
Yeah, 97% of them.
97% of people are
Listen,
talking off their ass.
there's-
Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say if there's 3 people, but even that wouldn't equal to 90.
you
If it's
people
only
are
2/3.
liars. You're
Yeah.
just bots meant
just
to improve ratings.
You ever notice how we evolve? It's meme culture is just evolving into the same thing,
Yeah.
and a direct comparison of that, not really memey, but we evolved from saying noob, right? Like get pwned noob from like RuneScape era to like get owned bot.
Yeah.
Or like you're such a bot. It's just the new noob turn.
It's funny
It is.
because I still use noob though. I'm
You
like,
do? I don't really.
the way I
don't.
describe myself is I'm always 10 years behind.
You are. You're like the dad memes.
No, I really am. Like,
Yeah.
I talked about this before, but literally pull out Velociraptor Jesus and I'll laugh.
Right, and that's like 2012 meme,
That
2011
is
something.
literally. I think it's older than that.
Really? Yeah.
I think that was like.
I don't know. All the for some reason, a lot of old memes I just associate with 2012. Like there's nothing before 2012. There's only after 2012.
That's because the world was supposed to end at 2012, so
no,
they gave us fresh
2021.
perspective.
No, they got the numbers mixed
They got
up.
the
It was,
numbers.
this was actually next year.
I mean,
This
just
is
at
just-
this rate, we'd think 2020. Honestly,
Well, this is just the preceding to the apocalypse.
it's so weird looking at how this year is like.
This has been the worst year in like
I saw a meme of like every month
Ugh.
and what was associated with that month. Like
and it's all awful.
it's all terrible.
It all started when Kobe died. Like seriously,
Oh.
I'm not kidding.
when
Kobe Bryant.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It all started when he died.
He
And all the
was-
other people in the crash.
He was the one.
Because it was in January. That was the start of the year.
He was the one holding our world
Yeah.
together.
And then February was like what, World War III, like the threats of World War III.
Yeah.
And then March was COVID. And
Yeah.
then April was like the murder hornets, even though that was
That,
such
that
a
never happened.
no,
Like,
it
that
was an exaggerated thing.
Yeah.
But it was just it got well because there's already like a pandemic, so everybody's like, oh my god, murder hornets.
That's
I just
great.
want before we end the
Sorry.
episode, I want to recap all the months leading up to this.
Yeah.
So that was March was March
March.
was COVID, April murder hornets, even though it wasn't really a thing.
May.
What was May?
Was that when Kim Jong Un was dead but not dead?
Yeah, I'm pretty okay. Yeah, he like faked his death like again or something.
Yeah.
They do that
What?
kind of often.
To test their.
Loyalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When did?
That's messed up.
Well,
Can you imagine if I just like I had Alicia send you a
Mm.
message being like Travis just died,
Right.
and then you're like,
Fake it.
LOL,
When
I
did
didn't
he-
like him anyways, and then I come out, I'm like, haha, I caught
Yeah.
you.
How did the media? Yeah, May 5th
Yeah.
was reported dead.
Yeah.
So it
that's-
was like early May, end of April.
Yeah, and then June. What was in June?
I don't know.
I'm having trouble with June.
What happened?
What happened in June?
June
2020.
2020.
Um.
The protests, BLM protests.
Oh, I thought that also happened in May. I mean,
That's
Black
kind
Lives
of-
Matters
that's-
protests have
It's
happened
still
all
going
over.
on. It's but that might have been when it picked up a lot of steam
Yeah.
again. Mass graves discovered in Libya. I don't know if that's lockdowns.
Anyway,
What happened? What happened in July?
Oh, okay, so yeah, so the death of George Floyd was May 29th, so that's why
So that carried over
the end of
into-
May into June,
which
yeah.
then the BLM protests picked up a lot of steam,
Oh, hang on.
right?
Sorry, let me get that date right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. May 25th.
25th. What did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you said 29th.
I believe I said 29th. I meant
It is
25th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do not want to get that date wrong. That's
No,
important to remember.
It is very important.
But then July.
I don't remember what happened in July.
I feel like May, June, July have all kind of been like together.
Yeah. I mean, there was like the 4th of July and like everybody like went to the beaches and stuff and like.
So stupid.
Yeah.
And then this month.
August? Nothing. Well, I mean, it's pretty early August so far.
Yeah.
The only thing that happened was Lebanon explosion.
Yeah, which that was crazy.
I say only thing, but that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
That's like almost 100. No, I think like at least.
I think it's like 70 something. Right?
So far, yeah, that they they know about, and then like 4,000 injured.
Yeah, which is
it was
crazy.
What was it? It was like ammonium nitrate explosion.
Yeah,
it was a warehouse.
Common fertilizer or common component of fertilizer, actually.
I thought it was for fireworks.
Maybe both.
People were saying that it was like for a firework factory.
Perhaps.
But like, it's ammonium nitrate. It was a warehouse for that, and then I don't know if it got mishandled or if somebody deliberately set it off or something. But
something happened.
It exploded, and yeah.
The impact was felt. I think from like over 15 miles away.
Yeah, well, it's huge. Do you see videos of it? It was huge,
crazy. It's
and
like
it was go on.
The nuclear facility meltdown in Japan. That was a few years. I don't remember when that was.
That was 2014.
I think something like that.
It was around that, but yeah, that was. Well, because they had like a tsunami or something, right?
Yeah,
and it like
caused
it flooded it or something like
2011.
that. Oh,
yeah,
really?
The Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster. I knew it was a while ago.
I didn't know it was 2011 though.
I knew it was somewhere like 2012 around there. But, but yeah, it was crazy, man.
So that's been a lot. This year is the terrible 20s. It's like the Great Depression again. But
yeah, that wasn't until like 29. So let's.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was like early 20s.
No.
Or maybe I'm just thinking of World War One.
Well, because you had the Roaring 20s at the beginning of the
Roaring
20s,
20s,
the 1920s.
Okay.
You
gotta go get a haircut, bro.
I have like 4 minutes.
Okay. It doesn't take that long.
So yeah, it started in 1929 with the crash of the market, and then continued throughout the late 1930s.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then there was like the Dust Bowls and stuff.
But admittedly, right now, if you look at where our economy is,
we went backwards. We started with the Great Depression, and we're going to the Roaring 20s.
Yeah, pretty much. No, we literally had I think the largest GDP drop in United States history. Like I think it was worse than the Great Depression.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to compare that because there was like less stats in the like back then, less people, less stats. I don't know.
I wouldn't argue. I mean,
unless you can like, just still. I mean, like unless it still is comparable. I don't know.
I mean, if you're comparing the
GDP,
the country's economy at the time, then it is comparable. You know,
I would just think that there's a larger gap in like so it can drop more or
I think there's more safety net programs nowadays.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference, and that's why it hasn't been felt as hard. I mean, the $600 a month.
We never feel anything in Maine.
No, you really don't.
Maine is like unaffected a lot of the time.
We should be Canada.
We should be Canada.
I'm sorry, like we're basically
Might as well
Canada.
be Canada.
I mean, I'd dig for universal healthcare. I'm just throwing that out there, you know.
So I want to end the episode with you coming up with a title for this episode.
Don't do that to me.
Yeah,
man.
You're on the spot.
I'm on the spot.
I don't know. I might change it anyway, but
just change it because I'm not gonna come out with that. Wow, crazy thing happened. 18 plus only. Clickbait.
I wanted to go stop the recording. I wanted to just go click stop recording. Okay. Outro time.
We gotta have some inspirational, like, elevator music as we're like trying to figure everything out.
That's the game.
Okay.
Where's the outro? There's the outro.
That is the outro.
I was reading the thing below it.
As always, childhood memory.
As always. Thanks for watching, and be sure to let us know what's on your mind. That's a really short outro now that I think about it. I'm Jesse.
I'm Travis.
And this has been episode 8.
Episode 8.
See you next time.
See you next time.
And be sure to share. Thank you.
Share it.
Later, Gator.
Bye-bye.